Apple's Freeform app for iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Vision Pro is a digital whiteboard you can use to brainstorm, collaborate, draw, or make awesome presentations on one infinitely scrolling canvas. Here's how it works. Freeform launched in the fall of 2022 as a free app for the iPhone, iPad, and Mac, and later on the Vision Pro. If for whatever reason you don't have it on your device, you can download it again here from the App Store. Unfortunately, Freeform is not available on PCs through iCloud.com, but that may change in the future. When you launch Freeform, you'll be able to browse through all of the boards you've created, and you can find them in smart categories like Recents, Shared, and Favorites. To create a new board, hit the New Board button in the upper right. Tap Add Text Box to start with some text on the board. By default, it's a single short line of centered text. For writing longer paragraphs, you can drag the blue markers on either side to make the text box wider. The green marker in the bottom right will scale the text box and its contents bigger proportionally. From the floating toolbar, you can change the text size, color, and font for making your headline text pop. You can also change the text alignment to write out a paragraph and make a bulleted list. Now, no one likes staring at a wall of text, but luckily Freeform makes it easy to add photos, videos, files, rich links, and more. Tap the Media button and you'll see a list of options. Insert From lets you attach a file from iCloud Drive or the downloads on your iPhone, iPad, or Vision Pro. On the Mac, you'll see a separate Insert Document button in the Freeform toolbar. Link lets you paste or type in a URL to embed as a rich link. Scan will let you scan a document to add into the board. Stickers will let you pick from your sticker library of things you've cut out of your photos or AI emoji you've made. Camera will take a new picture. Image Playground on devices that support Apple Intelligence will let you insert an AI-generated image. And finally, Photos or Videos will let you pick an item from your photo library. Just like with text boxes, you can drag the blue markers around the image to resize it. You can edit the appearance of media too. For images and stickers, you can hit Remove Background to cut it out as a transparency or crop it. On a Mac, you can right-click for more options. On an iPhone, you can hit the More button on the right. Front or back will move the object in front of or behind other objects on the board if you want them to overlap. Shadow and round corners are two effects you can apply if you'd like. And Constrain Proportions will make sure that when you resize the object, it stays the same aspect ratio. You can add a variety of shapes to your board by hitting the Add Shapes button in the middle. I recommend adding big, colorful backgrounds to different sections of your board so you can easily tell them apart. The first objects are your basics: a line, arrow, curved line, square, rounded rectangle, and circle. You can also add a variety of triangles, blocky arrows, speech bubbles, and a star. Other categories offer loads of clip art representing different 3D shapes, objects, animals, nature, food, symbols, education, arts, science, people, places, activities, transportation, work, and ornaments. You can drag these around, resize them just like any other object, send them into the background, change the fill color. You can even double tap on an object to type inside it like a text box. On the Mac, when the grid is visible, objects and pins snap to the nearest grid point. You can hold down the Command key to drag without snapping to the grid. On the Mac, you can also draw custom vector shapes using the Pen tool, which you can find in the Shapes Picker. It kind of works similarly to the Pen tool in Photoshop, Illustrator, and other traditional drawing programs. A different form of text box you can add to your board is a sticky note. It appears by default in the iconic yellow color and square shape with a drop shadow. But if you want, you can change the color to pink, red, orange, green, blue, or gray. You can use sticky notes for calling out important text in your board, or you can use them as temporary placeholder notes to remind you of things to fix later. On an iPhone or iPad, you can tap the Markup button in the lower left. This shows the system standard drawing and handwriting tools. This feature really sings on an iPad with an Apple Pencil, where you can do some proper calligraphy and hand-drawn artwork. I find sketching in the Freeform app to be much nicer than in Apple Notes, because Freeform lets you freely zoom and scroll on an infinite plane, whereas Notes is limited to the width of your screen and doesn't really let you zoom. Finally, to present your board, you can create scenes. A scene is like a bookmark. It shows a specific part of your board. You can run through a series of scenes like a presentation, kind of like Prezi, that web app that was popular in schools in the mid-2010s. On an iPhone or iPad, you set the positioning and the zoom just how you want, tap the More button, and then tap Add Scene. On a Mac, you hit the Scene Navigator button in the lower left, click Show Scenes, then click Add Scene. You can browse through your scenes by hitting the left and right arrow buttons. Hit the More button next to any of the scenes, and you can rename them something descriptive, replace them, print them, or delete them. You can reorder them on a Mac just by dragging them up and down. On an iPhone, hit the Edit button in the upper left corner, then drag them up and down using the grabbers on the right. There are 2 ways to share a Freeform board. You can send a copy of it, or you can send a collaborative link. Tap the Share button in the toolbar, then pick either Send a Copy or Collaborate from the menu. You can choose whether it's visible to anyone with the link, or only the people you invite, whether they can edit the board or only view it, and whether or not they can invite other people. Collaborate works like Google Docs. You can see when somebody is editing the document, and any changes they make will be updated live for everybody. On the other hand, Send a Copy gives someone their own fixed, independent version that they can edit or modify separately from yours. And that is my guide to Freeform. You can see other deep dives I've done on other apps like Invites, Find My, and Preview. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm Griffin Jones with Cult of Mac.